Right, welcome to another session video. Thanks everyone who watched the last one. Really good response. Everyone seemed to like that long format, blow-by-blow account of my fishing session. And I've come today. A lot of you have been asking for more natural stuff, so I've come to my local club water. Now, this place has been rock hard. I did a live match last year. I fished two matches here last year. I won one with £24, one with £14, which tells you about this place. They were two of the biggest weights of the year on this lake. I don't think a match had been won with above £20 here this year. It's been a tough year for this lake. It's gin clear, it's full of weed. We're targeting skimmers today. They put some F1s in the winter, but I'm talking little diddy ones, and I don't think they're showing. Odd tench, but mainly skimmers. So it's going to be a bit of a different approach today. Again, we're going to leave the cameras running. We'll change batteries when, obviously we have to check the mics every now and again, so I'll have to cut occasionally, but you're going to see pretty much everything as it happens. So let's go get on the box. We'll feed a couple of swims. Because it's skimmer fishing, it'll probably take a little bit of getting going, so we'll feed the swims, show you the rigs and then and the baits, and then we'll turn around and do a bit of fishing. So without further ado, let's get on it. Okay, so first job, let's get a bit of bait in. As you can see, picked a nice spot. There's loads of carp cruising around, funny enough. Don't really want to get involved with them, but might be too much to resist the urge to mug a couple. Or one. Big fish in here, and they fight really hard with the water being so clear, but let's worry about the skimmers first and foremost. Now I've got a simple little bait menu. I've got some expanders. In fact, let's put some bait in, then we'll talk about the bait. So I've mixed up a nice little bit of ground bait, and I've mixed in 4mm pellets, and I'm just going to feed like a blob of 4mm and ground bait on each spot. The idea being, I want to lose feed really. But if it's still the same as last year, I've not fished it since last year, but if it's the same as last year, there's loads of little fish in here, little roach and stuff. Put one little nugget on that side, and I'm going to do the same. I'll put two lines at the same distance. I'm going to try and alternate best I can. If I can get some bites, I'm just going to put exactly the same on that one as well. Hard, plenty of 4mm in it. But if it's just like last year, there's a lot of little roach in here, so that's the issue that we sometimes face on this lake, getting your bait dragged off, but don't worry about that anymore. Bait. Just there. Let's get the swim round and show you the rig. I'll let that settle. I'm just going to quickly spin round and show you the rigs. Because they're simple, but they are quite important on this lake. Now, I'll show you move the GoPro a bit. Now, bait wise, really simple. I've got some expanders, which in fact I need to put some water on. Just a little bit, touch of water. So I've got some expanders in there, just 4mm and 6mm. 6mm can be really good for skimmers. But it'll be primarily 4mm I would have thought. I've only got a little bit of time. Primarily loose feeding wise, I've soaked up some 4mm. As you can see, they're really fluffy and puffed up because I've given them loads of water. I really like it for skimmers. I think it's very attractive. You can generally loose feed quite a lot of them. And then ground bait wise, I just did a pint of Thatchers. Just neat Thatchers, the original one. And then I've mixed through that some of them soaked 4mm, like a 50-50 ratio. And like I say, odd little ball of that will be perfect. Plenty of feed in there. Found that works really well. And if them roach do become a problem, which they have in the past, I can probably feed more of that rather than the loose feed to try and keep the skimmers interested on the bottom. Now rigs, simple. I've got, because the depth is slightly different, it's about a foot different. My left and right swims. Now, lazy me would probably use the same rig and move the float, but I thought I'd be professional and set up two rigs, both the same, 0.4 bulk floats. I haven't set the pencils up, partly because I don't know what to expect. I might be fishing corn a bit later. I've got some corn in the bag. I just fancied a bit more of a bodied float, so I've got a bulk on, which is a 1.5 tip, so lovely little float. As you can see, I've plumbed it up, and I plumbed it up to the bristle, which I don't normally do. But because there's a lot of weed on the bottom, I'm going to try and get really accurate not fish much over depth. I'll play with that as we go. But the float's not that important. I've got yellow zip on, 6 to 8, nice and soft. The water's gin clear, don't want to lose any fish if I can help it. And this light elastic should help that. But the important part on the rig here, and I've shown this before, is the hooking arrangement. So I've got a bulk, probably a foot away from the hook, and then I've got a 3-inch hook length with 3 number 10s above it. They could be number 8s if I was on a deeper rig, but number 10s today. And that is just so I can get the bait down quick and show the bites up quick. Like with this weed, I've got to be very, very in touch with everything I'm doing. And like I say, 2 identical rigs, one just a bit deeper. Flat calm today, so I can get away with dock my float right down. And that's it, really simple. So we'll get the camera set up. I don't know which line to start on. Probably going to start on the left. There's normally more fish to the left. A lot of weed here and stuff where they seem to hang out, so could be good. If I can, I've got a little clicker because you're not allowed to keep it here, so I've got a little clicker to keep an eye on what we're catching. But if I can catch a dozen skimmers, I'll be well happy because it's been really tough. Wouldn't surprise me if we do, but wouldn't surprise me if I don't. That's the beauty of these natural waters, isn't it? So let's get the kit spun around, and then we'll start on the left. The only thing I'll probably have to do is move that camera on the 2 different float swims, so, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. And yeah, let's get on it and see if we can catch some fish. Okay, I think I'm going to start on the shallow swim, just because. No reason, just fancy it. And the reason I've set up 2 swims is just so shallow and clear. My experience on this lake, you get a lot of like flow spells, so you can keep the fish coming at Normand as well on this lake. So what I'm going to do, put that in over my spot. Really weedy, like if I move left or right, the bait, the rig will be up in the hung up in the weeds, so I've got to be quite accurate with my rig placement. Little roach there, straight away. Interesting. And that is the problem with this venue, you do get a lot of that. Can't remember what we've got in though. On the bottom, which is a nice thing. I've got the float nicely dotted down, that 0.4 bulk. Ooh. That looked like something that wasn't a little baby fish. I've got quite a long line, I might shorten it. Not really decided yet. I've had a chance to fish for carp a few times on this lake this year, as in floating bread and all that. I haven't actually had a chance to pole fish it. It's been busy, so it's quite nice just to pop down on an evening like this and see if we can't catch a couple for the cameras. Important not to get too giddy with the bait because it is a natural venue. Baits them up. So it might take a bit of time to get going because it is a natural venue. Carp there. Let's open the account. Not really what we're after, but nice little fish. There's millions of them in here. It can be a real problem, but you know, if you're fishing a nice light elastic and stuff, you can have a good bit of fishing with them, but when you're trying to catch these skimmers, it can be a bit of a pest. It's one of the main reasons why I use that rig with the bulk down. Not only does it make seeing the bite, it gives you a chance to get the bait past them. through a roach this time. Normally when you get it on the bottom, you're alright, you can wait for a skimmer, but interestingly, when I was dragging the plummet about, if I move it a foot to the right, it gets stuck in weed. If I move it a foot to the left, it gets stuck in the weed, and then it's pretty much all weed to the left. It makes it difficult. Plenty of carp about. Water's gin clear, and it's got this like blue dye in it, so it looks like it's got tinging, but it really hasn't. It's just absolutely tack clear. Little tiny lift there, look, you see that? And there the problem. I'm going to go on the right one. The roach again. I'll go with the right on one. That's brilliant. I can just see a young lad up there. He's caught a big skimmer by the looks of it. Brilliant. What do you want to say? You kids enjoying fishing? Easy to catch, certainly not a commercial fishery, and despite the amazing platforms and stuff, it's definitely not a commercial fishery, but offers good fishing if you're prepared to work at it. You've just got to try and suss it out. Oh, there we go. 6mm pellet. That feels different. That yellow's it. Skimmer? Oh, that's it. Maybe the 6mm pellet was the answer all along. I want to double shit because it is a bit awkward behind it. I've also got a fair bit of weed. Oh, lovely. Very, very nice. That's what we want. Look at that. Right in the top lip. Pound and a bit. Pound 4, something like that. Right, we're off the mark. So maybe 6mm was the answer. And you can see when you catch a fish like that, why that 6mm pellet's so good, because it allows you just to get it down. And I've got them 3 shots really close to the hook that accentuates the bite, and that bite was just a tiny little lift. You wouldn't see that if you didn't have that shot so close to the hook. And that's what is so important about it. Those 16 hook lengths on, you wouldn't even seen that bite. It's really important to think about things like that, what you're trying to achieve. That was good. Just to get one. Top up wise, I'm not going to top up really quick, but I'm also not going to leave it too long. It's actually a Spitfire, that. Brilliant. Where we are here in Brixworth is not far from Sywell aerodrome, and they often have Spitfires and other old aircraft bombing about. I'd love to know what they're all called, but I know Spitfires because my father-in-law actually flew one a few years ago from that place, so great, it's lovely to see. Obviously some weekends they're buzzing around all day. So we've gone in and got another bite. Looks a bit small fishy to me. But yeah, as far as top-up's concerned, we might top this up again. Now I've caught a fish off it. Might be worth just feeding it and then bumping between the two, rather than trying to catch two off it. That might work. Right. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see if we can work this out. So let's put a decent sized ball. We've caught a fish off it, so might just recenter them. And if I can maybe catch one, feed a little ball, move to my left hand spot. Maybe that's going to work. Move the camera again. So I've just got to bit of faff this feeding two lines with the camera. I should have thought about that. Hopefully I can get into a bit of a routine. So we've caught that one skimmer. Now it's a case of I'll just top that ball up. Hopefully there's a skimmer here waiting. Do it without loose feeding. It's better because less likely to pull them roach in. A bit more accurate as well, I suppose. Maybe that's something to bear in mind, maybe. And I have found that before here. Just feeding ground bait can be really good. Oh, that's fine. Carp about, but to just walk around and try and stalk one today, I think. Let's leave again then. 90% of it's quite important, especially when there's all these little fish around. Not ideal. Our pike just followed that in. Can you believe that? Lots of that around, unfortunately. One thing, yeah, you've got to really pay attention, and that is a bit careless then. And that is why you've got to be careful, because you get hung up on weed if you don't. So you've got to lower it in, like that, and you're fishing straight away. I do like them pencils for this, but I mean the bulks are great. There we go. There's a bit of weed. That wasn't there before. So this is perfect, because it's showing that it's definitely not a polished. I think some people have ideas of grandeur that we go out and the swims have been free-fed for us and our lakes are closed and all that business. But this proves that it's not. It's nothing to work out where that weed is. It might be why I can't catch on this left-hand one. There might just be too much weed down there. And got in this time, bit of a lift, approach. Maybe I should concentrate my efforts on one. Keep going a bit. Obviously it'd be easy if I can catch on one. But I'm not quite feeling this, no fish in it. Forgot to click my skimmer, didn't I? One. But now I'm fishing this left hand one, I'm not feeling it. Sometimes you get a bit mixed. Yeah, it's difficult, this is. Maybe I'm better off just fishing that right hand one. And just taking me runs of fish when they come, rather than complicating it, splitting my fish up a bit. It's quite hard to stay on top of both lines. When I do this in a match, I fished 2 lines and it was quite nice because I could just hop around, but this left hand one's definitely, the weed's quite problematic, it seems. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it 5 more minutes. I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to feed it again, I'm just going to leave it. Maybe when I drop on it later there'll be some skimmers settled on it. Yeah. All right. Concentrate on that right hand one, I think. That's what I should do. Concentrate my efforts on one side, and then worry about focusing on my efforts in one spot. Might be better, so we'll do that, I think, as a change. Concentrate on one side for now. I've even got this edge, and it's not an edge place, but you never know, there might be a tench or something up this side. What to do. Let's concentrate on that right hand one. We won't feed that left hand one again. We'll just leave it, and if some bubbles and stuff happen, then we'll go on that right hand one and just see if we can get a response and concentrate on that one a bit. Right, I'll tell you what I've decided to do is abandon that far one, that left hand one. We're going to concentrate all our efforts on the right hand one. I'm going to put a short line in. Hopefully find a little spot just past this one. There's a lot of weed on the inside. We'll find a little spot. Right, here. I've caught close in on this peg before. Look at the weed. The weed's unbelievable. Yeah, I've caught close in here before. But and if I can, I might just attack it with like a proper pot full of bait. I think that could be quite a good thing to do. Quite nice. Quite deep there as well. Alright, we'll put that in there. We'll leave it with a big pot of ground bait loose. I think that's what we'll do. Well, not a big pot, like half a pot of ground bait loose. Yeah, what we'll do, we'll put that in with like a proper decent pot full of ground bait loose. And just like with our hard pellet video, this is all about working it out. Look at that. It's so clear, you can see the ground bait sort of fluttering down. As I've said numerous times, this sort of fishing is all about the feeding, no matter what you do. So let's concentrate on this right hand spot where it felt a bit less weedy. We'll leave that for half hour to settle. See what we can catch, because we've got that one skimmer in the bag. And if we can just feed it with balls of ground bait, it'll be easy to fish. Nothing feeding other than baby roach. Hey, skimmer at last. Stuck in the weed. Took some catching. Miss me wrong. Took some catching, nothing. Took the corn off and the belly on me. Missed the net. Oh, I took some right catching, that did. So what's up? Is that maybe the start of the action, I wonder? Let's get back in there and see. I thought that was going to be a roach when I opened it. Alright. Well, I've started feeding more. Maybe feed up new fishing. Okay. Something around my float, eh? Better. Yellow's nice, elastic's nice. Oh, there's a bugger coming in. Don't even got a lot of chance of landing one if even a hook one, but you never know. Oh, he's gone down over my bait, that carp. A load of bubbles just come up right next to me float. I reckon that carp's just swooped in and followed my loose fed pellets down. I definitely won't land him on this yellow if I hook him. I've only got 010 on. It's just so tricky water because the weed makes it hard to fish multiple lines, but the water clarity means that you need to fish multiple lines to keep the bites coming. So there's only really one spot in this swim that's weed free where I'm fishing now, and even this is not that weed free. It's really quite frustrating. Lot less roach, which is a good thing. At least I can get my pellets at the bottom in a minute. So maybe there is some skimmers about. Oh. Now look that, a carp bow wave down this swing. It's not what I've got though. I've got a big slab, which is lovely, lovely, lovely. You may think, why has he got his pole in the air? But when you're playing, this is a natural venue, don't forget, with weed everywhere. You've got to get them up. Otherwise, they could bury themselves, and we don't want that. If we can help it. Yeah. It did go quiet on the roach front. Maybe that's why. Yeah. Proper. That's what we wanted. 2 pounders. Perfect. So big pot in it, and be more aggressive with the cat. It's got as a result, look, lovely Bricksurf skimmer. Looks ancient, that fish. Very nice though. And that's 2 in 5 minutes, so maybe we're onto something now. We've just had right, so we've just had that bream, and we've had a skimmer before it, so we've got 3 now. It doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, the way this lake's been fishing, and we're seeing it today, it's in an easy place, and all we've done is just change it by being a bit more aggressive. We've got that line in short, but I actually don't expect to catch anything on that. It just doesn't feel like the right kind of day. But we've had that bream, and then, but we're much more aggressive with the bait. Hopefully, that's spurred him into action. Interestingly, when I caught them 2 skimmers, there were no little roach. So maybe the skimmers and stuff are about, and so that was a decent fish. Not a carp, but like either a big roach or a proper skimmer or something. Oh, I wanted to go down in the deeper pegs up there, but loads of anglers up there. Yeah, another one. Isn't that amazing? Just a change. Again, a smaller one, but the right species. I'll be lying if I wasn't panicking. I wasn't going to get something out of this. But we're getting there now. Nice. 4. It feels different all of a sudden, like the roach have seemingly gone. And the skimmers are here. That's 3 in 3 chucks. And I thought a dozen was a realistic target, and then it looked like no way. All of a sudden, could be back on. Indication. Love getting them big lifts. Very interesting. hard fishing. You may be wondering why I'm not using like maggots and stuff, but the truth of the matter is I just don't think you get them to the bottom. So many roach. They feed the fish on pellets here, even though it's a club water, they do feed them. So they're very much pellet fish. Quite like the idea that it's settling over a bit of an area with a weed. Makes sense to me. I'm just going to put another quarter of a pot in, I suppose. Oh, some bubbles having a short line. Let's get in there. That's not a small fish bubble, that. Exactly the time, and if that's the case. It's getting short. Definitely fish bubbles, that. Not, right on the bait. Come on. Love that to be a tench. So I just potted that baiting out there, so I'm not going to lose feed. Give it a minute just to chill. And I've actually got in here without a roach holding my pellet up. And I haven't had time to adjust the camera, but there's a load of bubbling. Right over my bait, next to my float. Which would suggest that there's a big fish there. The fact that I've got him without a roach is quite nice. It's not, I don't expect to catch anything here, but there's definitely been a big fish there because it was fizzing up. And a bit more interesting that I've not had any roach. There we go. Knew there was one there. Amazing, isn't it? Seeing them bubbles come up. Proper fish as well. Just knew it. Knew there was one there. Because it's quiet, there's no roach. Good fish as well. Great fishing. Look at that. Pound and a half. Lovely fish. Now do I go in again, or do I just assume that that was that fish? Maybe we feed that and leave it. Just give it one more try. So we've got to 5. Much better stamp than there, normal. Normally you catch sort of like 6 ounces, but they've been good fish, haven't they, today? If we go in, I'll tell you what we'll do. If we go in and catch a roach, we'll feed it. If we don't, we won't. Does that sound good? Good plan? just as out there, as soon as them roach disappeared, you could sit and wait and catch one. So they're obviously about. Not convinced those feeding's been doing anything. Skimmer. What's that up to? You just got wrapped around. Just wrapped around. Yeah. Have fun, what's it? Oh, yeah. Right in the belly. What's mother about? Just check the cameras. Right, well, that was a tough session. I want to post it because obviously good and bad. I don't think I got anything right there at all. I think I got my bait wrong. I think I'd have been better off just feeding 4 still, but like a bit firmer. Loose feed just seemed to pull in all a little roach. My rigs weren't heavy enough. Didn't spend long enough plumbing up to pick my lines because I wasn't convinced I was in the weed or not on the weed or not quite right. Yeah, real strange, but there you go, that's nature of these sort of natural venues. I still caught half a dozen nice skimmers and in a match would probably weigh, I don't know, £7 or £8 maybe. A generous £7 or £8 I'd have to say. A couple of them were £2 though, so I'd say that. Yeah, real weird session. I think I need to fish hemp or something for a better roach. That might work. But yeah, real tough day. Real tough evening anyway. Yeah, thanks for watching everyone. I'm going to pack up. I'm going to leave my mugging rig up just in case, you never know what might come past. But yeah, real tough session. And we'll be back hopefully with a few more fish next time. So thanks for watching everyone, and we'll see you on the next one.